Welcome on in, everybody. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Just got done watching Hard Knocks, Miami Dolphins in season episode 2, which I don't recommend watching after you just watched that Heat game that just happened, because this one was a bit of a tearjerker. I didn't realize that Hard Knocks was going to take us on such an emotional roller coaster through this entire thing, because I feel like we had a lot of the giggles, had a lot of the goosies in episode 1. And the trouble with this one is it was the Jaelan Phillips episode. And they decided, you know what? We're going to build up and give you all of the feelings of how awesome Jaelan Phillips is. We're going to even talk about his cat. And you're going to love this guy even more than you possibly could have for him being a menace on the football field, because he is also a sweetheart who loves cats and has worked his ass off and has come back from medical retirement and is working his way through confidence issues that he has put beside him. And he has a beautiful friendship with Bradley Chubb. And he has his coach come and tell him that he is going to be a star after the Black Friday game. And he is having a career year, and everybody knows that he is uber talented. He is a Superman on the football field. And you know this is all being presented to you if you're a Dolphins fan watching this. I assume if you're just some rando who's just out of the loop on the Dolphins and you stumbled upon it on the Max app. But I think for the most part, most either football or Dolphin fans knows what's coming, which is going to be inevitable heartbreak when this guy's season comes to a crumbling end because of the New York Jets' bum-ass field, which is a literal turf monster that is taking out stars in this league by the dozens. So it was rough. It was a tougher watch this week. Like, there was some fun skis. You know, certainly there was some cool stuff with Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey did an interview with Channing Crowder on the Inside the NFL, and Mike McDaniel was explaining how much he hated going up against Jalen Ramsey. We found out a big theme of the week. It wasn't, I guess there wasn't as much content to get for him, because it felt like the pre-game week portion of the episode wasn't very long. Then you think about it, they only had, 2 days to film? Mike McDaniel let it be known going into the Jets game that he wants them to prioritize sleep. And that was a big deal, that they were trying to get that to be a big thing. They had a big feature on the defense. The defense kind of got its flowers this week, and they had a bunch of, Sealer and Wilkins and Javon Holland. I love the friendship between Zach Sealer and Christian Wilkins. They're like two adorable monsters who are just, so gigantic and, only can understand each other through brute force and friendship. And them playing rocks, paper, scissors, it tickled me pink. I loved it. And I also love, by the way, Zach Sealer, when Christian Wilkins was trying to say, New York, one of the best cities in the world. And Zach Sealer says, nope, Miami. That's why I Sealer it on up. That's my guy. Love that guy, man. And so, yeah, man, and then in the lead up, there was a 1 point Tua, and Daryl Bevel's asking everybody around, what are you most thankful for? It's real icebreaker for the morning, Daryl Bevel. And Tua's just like, I'm thankful that I'm in this position. I'm just like, all right, cool. We got that. Mike White said that it was a great QB room. Daryl Bevel agreed. They didn't go to Skylar Thompson. I don't know what he apparently wasn't. I don't know. His thankfulness wasn't worthy of our time. So they get to game time. This was probably the most. There were two. Mike McDaniel was and continues to be like the levity of the show. He makes it funny. He's like kind of jokingly making fun of Woody Johnson's face about his ridiculous chain, and he's talking with Stephen Ross. He's like, we should write that into the contract that I get one of those under incentives. But then we also learned that Mike McDaniel had to show his toughness last week in the Raiders game, because one of the Raiders players rolled up on him, kicked him, as he said, hit him right in the dick. And he was not going to be one of these cowards that was going to show weakness and show that he did get hit in the dick. He was going to go out there and show nothing is bothering me. But he said very much that he got hit in the dick, and that he was very, very much in pain. having to deal with that during the Raiders game. So he had an unbelievable revelation in the follow-up to the Raiders episode. So that was a delight. So do that, you get into the whole game, and then it's all basically Jaelan Phillips, and you're just kind of just like, oh, you're waiting for them. It's looming, you know it's coming, and it's like Mike McDaniel goes up to him at one point, and he's like, after today, you're going to be a household name. You're just like, oh, dude, why would they show you? You don't have to run up the score on emotions. Hard Knocks. And, then they try and make it cute because JP gets mad at Chubb for farting. And he's like, oh, I'm like a pitcher throwing a perfect game right now. Don't even talk to me. And I'm just like, oh, they're really trying to set up the fall. And it's like, and you know what's going to happen, but they even make it worse than it was. It's terrible. Get an insight into Tua's pick six, and it really wasn't a lot of drama in that, which was kind of, in a way, cool. You do see that Tua's bothered by it. You can see his face as he walks in from halftime, but like the coaches aren't sweating it. They believe in him. The Holland play was Goosey's galore. We all saw that kind of on the preview. So that was pretty awesome. Darrell Bevell goes to Tua in the locker room, and he goes, dude, 2 bad plays. Keep shooting. Keep going. And they do go to Jalen Ramsey, and I loved him because he's like, hey, this bleep don't got to be close. It don't got to be close. And yeah, we know they ran through it. Sealer and Wilkins were continuing to just be gigantic, adorable monsters. And then Tua, cool insight. We got Tua's insight in the huddle because Tua said before one of the Mostert touchdowns, I want to go surfing right now. So we all know Mostert's a surfer. We know surf celebration. That's his thing. And so as soon as he says that, boop, hands off to Mostert. Everybody gets surfing. So that was cool. And then we get to the worst part of the episode. Jaelan Phillips says, I want a sack. He gets a sack. And then he starts purring like a cat for his cat mister. It was adorable. And then, the Hard Knocks just kind of stills in on him and on his legs too. And boom, just goes down with the Achilles injury, and he immediately knows. He's like, my Achilles popped. I think my Achilles popped. And all of his teammates are like, no, you're good. He goes, no, my Achilles popped, dude. It popped. And he is like, you could see it welling over him. And Mike McDaniel comes over and he's like, Mike, my Achilles. And he's just he's in tears, and Mike McDaniel's trying to comfort him, but sucks, dude. Sucked. And then on top of it, you got everybody hugging him in the post game. It's Marino, of course, famous Achilles tear. And Nick Needham too was dealing with that. So, some of the guys who had been through it we're seeing him. Garfinkel gives him a big hug. So that was a brutal watch. They do a lot. They do a post. They get him afterwards being on the Achilles cart. They of course show Aaron Rodgers in the midst of it because you got to give him some attention. And then they kind of he just talks about this interview. All the stuff that he's gonna have to go through was brutal, man. So much sadder Hard Knocks, a heavier Hard Knocks because you knew it was coming. But it hurt even worse watching it and seeing him cry like that it sucked. It was a brutal one for sure. The only other thing that made it fun, there was only one other fun part from Mike McDaniel. And he was talking about the victory. He gives the game balls out. I believe Wilkins got a game ball. Javon Holland got a game ball. And then he goes, you guys earned an entire weekend off. And you just hear somebody in the background goes, Victory Monday? And he goes, no, you. No Victory Monday. This was not our Super Bowl. And I was like, that was good from the coach. I really enjoyed that. Where he's like, I just give you the weekend off of Victory Monday. No, you. So I enjoyed that. But for the most part, this Hard Knocks kind of sucked because it made you unbelievably sad. And wishing Jaelan Phillips all the best in a speedy recovery. That was brutal to watch, and the dude was playing like an absolute monster up until that point.